You see, I didn't know how strong I could be until I was made to be strong. I didn't know who I could be until I had a leader who told me, regardless of your low self-esteem, regardless of how you think about yourself, young Shabazz, my sergeant major said, I believe in you. At 24 years old, I had never been told by another human being who had the humility to tell me, I believe in you. You see, leadership is not about income. Leadership is about outcome. How dare you be a leader and don't take the time to put your hand on somebody's shoulder to tell them that they are worthy of being in this world? I won't go through the whole story, but this leader brought me into his office and ministered to me for an hour. He had a poem on his wall because he was trying to get me through my stuff. And when I think about not being good enough, when I think about the things that I can't do, I think about this poem that my sergeant major gave me, and I'll read it to you. It says, if you think you're beaten, you are. If you dare not, you do not. If you think you can't, you won't. If you think you're outclassed, you are. If you think you'll lose, you most certainly will. Because life's battles don't go to the strongest, fastest man. It goes to the person that thinks he can. You see, this poem is with me at all times, especially when I have to come into a situation like this, when I think I'm not good enough, when I think I can't be, when I think I'm going to fall on my face and I'm too embarrassed to get up. This brings me to the essence of my subject. I lie, I cheat, and I steal. You see, these words in themselves are negative connotations of the word lie, cheat, and steal. But since I control my own destiny, I have taken these three words and I have turned them into positive affirmations for myself. You see, these three words, just like life, we're all in negative situations sometimes, but we control how we see situations. So I lie. I lie in bed at night thinking about ways to change my situation and my condition. I lie in bed at night knowing that I have the ability to overcome anything that is put before me. You see, I lie in bed at night thinking about all the possibilities in the world that if I strategize, if I work hard, if I plan, that I can accomplish. All of those things that you are afraid of, all of those things that you think you're going to fail at. Stop lying to yourself. When I started this journey on trying to rebuild my life, I had to start with the thing that I was most afraid of, and that was education. I had to start with the thing that I was most afraid of. I had to start to stop thinking that I was dumb. So I went to the education center, and I walked in and had a big sign in this guy's office. I want you to hear this. It said most people die at 25, but they're not buried until they're 75. Yes, I'm going to say that again because you should be writing that down. Most people die at 25, but they're not buried until they're 75 because they give up on their hopes and their dreams. They're sitting around waiting for somebody to throw the dirt on their faces because somebody told them it wasn't realistic to dream what you're dreaming. most of you in this room are afraid because you believe the lie. You believe the false narrative. You keep telling yourself that you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You can't achieve greatness. Stop lying to yourself. If you think you're beaten, you are. If you dare not, you do not. If you think you won't, you will not. If you think you're outclassed, you are. If you think you'll lose, you most certainly will. You see, now I lie and I wait for any opportunity or reason to succeed today. I remember as a young soldier, my mentor, Sergeant Major, sent me to all of the Soldier of the Month boards. I was at my 8th board. I had not won any of them. Not one. My friends used to call me under-defeated. They used to call me not Shabazz, Shabum. You know how difficult friends are. But what they missed, I was winning even though the scores didn't show it. I was in the game. I was in the fight. They were on the sidelines hating, heckling, but I was in the arena. I was getting the right shoulder patch. I was looking the enemy of ignorance and mediocrity in the face, saying I could do it. They were on the sidelines, still on their faces. It was Theodore Roosevelt who said, "It's not the critic who counts. It's not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or how the doer of deeds should have done better. The credit belongs to the man that's in the arena." Because others don't know victory or defeat because they're afraid. See, those guys washed out. They were afraid, like many of you in this room, because they were worrying about what other people were going to say. Let me tell you a secret. What other people think about you ain't none of your business. I'm going to say that again. What other people think about you ain't none of your business. Amen. Amen. My children say, "Dad, what do you live by?" I say, "I live by the 1830-47 rule." I say, when I was 18, I worried about what everybody thought about me. When I was 30, I stopped caring what everybody thought about me. Now that I'm 47, I realize nobody was thinking about me at all. They were thinking about themselves. What other people think about you ain't none of your business. My second principle, I cheat. I cheat the odds makers that said a little boy from Alexandria, Louisiana, who failed the 9th grade, who had 2 Article 15s, could never make it in this world. I cheat my so-called friends when I came back to them for encouragement after I failed the ASVAB test for the 3rd time trying to get a 110 to be an officer. I cheat them because I had to have the intestinal fortitude to go after what I wanted. My friend, my so-called friend, the best friend that I thought I had, I came back to him and I was in tears. I say, "Man, I failed again." He said, "Some things you have to accept as a reality." He said, "My friend, you can't even be a good specialist. How you going to be an officer?" I want you to listen to me. What other people think about you ain't none of your business. I'm going to cheat my so-called friends who told me I couldn't be. Because if you think you're beaten, you are. If you dare not, you do not. If you think you can't, you won't. If you think you're outclassed, you are. If you think you'll lose, you most certainly will. This brings me to my final principle. I steal, not from the collection plate. Your money is safe. But I'm on a mission. Sergeant Major talks about why, after a PhD, do you go back and get master's degrees, certifications? Because for 26 years of my life, I was a perpetual ignorant human being. For 26 years of my life, I didn't think I had a brain because I let others define my reality. For 26 years of my life, I had never read a book from cover to cover. I have to steal back my dreams and the false narrative that I had told myself over and over. I have to steal back my dignity and my pride that my mother and father ingrained or inculcated to me. Many of you have children or have great dreams for them. I want you to take this. You can't teach your children how to fly if you don't have wings. I'm going to say that again. I don't want to get too churchy in here. I know I'm preaching. But you cannot teach your children to have wings, to fly, if you don't have wings. You have to show your children the realm of possibility. As an old saying, you can't be an eagle hanging around with chickens. I'm going to say that again.
Wow.
Well, you cannot be an eagle hanging around with chickens. The chickens don't even know you're supposed to fly because they can't. If you don't believe in yourself, how am I supposed to? How are your friends supposed to? You are the sum total of the 5 people you hang around. If you're the smartest person among your friends, you need to find some more friends. Don't say the chaplain said get rid of your friends. That's not what I said. You need to find some more friends to help you to grow and educate yourself. And then you can bring back the knowledge to your other friends. This is a quote for you. I want you to take this quote. I use it everywhere I go. Until you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will never change. I'm going to say that about 3 times because it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what environment you're in. Until you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will never change. I'm going to say it one more time. Until you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will never change. I spent 7 years convincing myself that I was not smart enough to be this person. I spent 7 years in depression. Sometimes I couldn't even get out of bed because I didn't think I was smart enough to be this person. I want you to listen. Until you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will never change. In conclusion, you know the preacher says that he got 20 more minutes. Key up the choir. Right? I'm going to tell you a story. It's a short story, really. There were 2 men. They went to lunch together. And when they were sitting on the perch, one guy opened up his lunch pail. And he looked in it and he said, "Oh my God, not a bologna sandwich again."